Previously on Restoration, Sarathiel proposed a heist and a distraction, Gwen finally called home, and the team prepared to break into the records room to find more information about Silvery Moon's future and Aptap's past plans. So I actually have logistical questions about your plan, because none of y'all are archivists. You don't keep records or anything. How are you planning to find what you need?
Okay, but I really like...
Yes, but you're with Sarathiel, causing the distraction.
You're right, never mind.
We're dividing the party this time.
Right? You know that thing that they say never to do? We're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Chaz is roguelike, so, he's very good at breaking in.
Yeah, but his rolls for searching have not been great the last couple of sessions.
That is true. Investigation, though,
Here's a hint. Maybe bring your bestie?
Is Tanya willing to commit crimes? This is crimes.
This is the question. Tanya is already kind of committing a crime, if you'll recall, because she's already getting him records on something else.
I'm gonna have to be a really bad influence, but it's totally fine because there's backup plans that I haven't told you about yet. Maybe this will come into play. This is fun.
Okay.
Ooh, if Tanya's involved, this is great!
Do we need to talk in character about what the plan is?
I'm not entirely sure what the nature of the distraction that we're causing is, so...
Sarathiel's absolutely gonna wing it. He's not too concerned.
I am concerned.
Yeah.
Gwen, your default state is concerned, Gwen.
That's true, and it also has served me well to be incredibly anxious about things. So, what is the exact plan, Sarathiel?
Sarathiel just shrugs. Oh, I don't know. I figure I can find something to set on fire.
You're gonna set the there's books, Sarathiel.
So you were causing a distraction in the Artificing wing to get people away from the records room.
Okay, but there's still books down. Somebody has lab notes that are very important.
Sarathiel says, well, that's just a risk we're going to have to take. We need people away from the records wing.
Well, what if I go in first and I'll rescue all the important documents and put them on a side of the building that is not going to get set?
That would take hours.
Do you have a better idea?
Yes, going in and setting a fire, as previously mentioned.
It just feels like a terrible idea. I'm looking around frantically for support.
Chaz is like, no, you're right, it is a terrible idea. But also, he is also right in that it would take hours.
Can we pretend to set a fire?
So, my secondary question is, are we staying in split parties, or is there a plan to regroup?
Sarathiel, I figure, since the timetable is a little bit in flux, we don't know how long it's going to take for the emergency to be resolved, we don't know how long it's going to take for them to find the records, Sarathiel just says, when you can, meet back up at, I don't know, maybe the Moonbridge?
Okay, so there's no plan to go to the records room together to help out, so Chaz and V are on their own for finding the information.
I guess we could try to. It's just we might get distracted. You shouldn't count on us, guys. Maybe we'll make it there, maybe we won't. Probably not. Just because right now the plan is set the entire Artificing wing on fire.
Maybe not the entire wing.
I feel like Gwen says, don't count on us, and Chaz just puts a hand on him. He's like, oh, don't worry, I never do count on you.
No.
Hey!
He gives you injured puppy eyes.
No, not like that. I mean, okay, don't look at me like that.
Chaz, man, you don't have to be such a bastard all the time, do you? Or is this part of your nature, or what?
I wasn't.
You just said you couldn't... Never mind, fine.
Guys, can we just focus?
Maybe it's you that brings it out to me, Sarathiel, I don't know.
We really don't have time for this.
Exactly, we don't have time. You guys.
Whatever this is, it needs to happen afterwards, like with some drinks, but not right now.
I completely agree.
Is this all right? Well, then get going.
Okay, we'll meet at the moon bridge.
As soon as we can.
Okay. So then we are camera panning over to Gwen and Sarathiel as you head over to the Artificing Wing.
Sarathiel, I feel like, is naturally taking the lead.
Yeah, that's fair.
Heading up to the front door of the Artificing Wing, which looks like what? Why don't you paint us a word picture, DM?
You walk through the courtyards, and it's the typical stone and integrated greenery and things of the city. And the door into the Artificing Wing is a interior door, so you actually had to go into the building first. And it's very utilitarian. The Artificing Wing, as you'll recall, is in a building that is kind of a folded space. So it's a little bit of Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion, a little bit of this, that, and the other, all kind of folded into space it shouldn't fit into, so that it's disguised.
TARDIS effects.
Yeah, basically.
Is there anyone guarding or standing outside the Artificing Wing that Sarathiel might need to handle?
I mean, there's always people in the Artificing Wing. They are scientists. They are up at all hours.
But, like, it's not unusual for us to just walk in, right? Like, because we could be seeing Chaz. Like, it's not like a thing.
Also, they're probably so engrossed in what they're doing that they do not care if you're there.
For the most part, they're going to be in their individual labs. You know that there's probably some that tend to work more during the day, some that tend to work more at night. But by the nature of AppTap as a more inclusive employer, they have all sorts. So, you know, like Chaz being drow tends to be up at night. The others more diurnal.
Okay, so Sarathiel is just going to walk in as though it's normal and fine and nothing is going on.
I will not be doing that. I will be looking nervously over my shoulder and constantly flinching every time something happens.
That makes more sense than you acting cool and calm and collected, so
yeah, 100%.
Sarathiel's not going to bother. Like, yeah, no, that's fine, keep it up.
Every time I hear, like, a weird sound, I just, like, flinch and, like, look around panicked.
And it's the Artificing Wing, so there's lots of weird sounds all the time.
So Sarathiel steps into the Artificing Wing, takes a look around, and, you know, like I said, his plan had been set things on fire. But if he sees something that's eminently easier than that, he's definitely going to take that path. What jumps out at me? Do I need to make a roll, or...?
So, I mean, you're going to know that the Artificing Wing is really... It's a building that's full of individual labs. So it's more a question of finding a unoccupied lab and causing a distraction there, or if there are other people, you're charismatic, you could do something.
So do we see any unoccupied labs?
Sarathiel he'll prefer a lab that is both open and unoccupied. Like, the door is wide open, there's no person inside that could conceivably kick them out.
Okay, I will solve this the nerdy way with dice.
I'll just make a perception check. Oh, my brave boy.
Well, it's very easy for you to find a couple options. So you've been to Chaz's lab a couple times, not recently, but you have. Gwen knows where it is, and there's a couple that are nearby that aren't occupied right now, mostly because they don't like the distracting noises that come out of Chaz's sometimes, because he does some explosive stuff sometimes.
All in the name of science.
Yes, exactly. They don't like the mad scientist vibes that you give off, because they have their own mad scientist vibes they want to give off, and it's distracting.
There we go.
So you've got a couple of options. You've got one that's got like a lot of breakable stuff, so it's just a noise option. Or you do have the lab that had the fairy dragon and the mephits and things.
I do not know what those are, and I am not interested in looking it up. Sarathiel goes to that one because he has an idea.
I, like, slink along behind him, like, checking around every corner. Where are we going?
Look at this one. And he points into this particular lab full of just so many little creatures. He says, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?"
That they're gonna cause a lot of damage?
Yes, that is the point. No?
I suppose. I guess it's better than fire. It's definitely better than fire.
This is the only question. I do want to break them out, but I don't want to do it while they could be in range to attack us the second they get out. If only I had something.
You've got a wizard with you who...
I was gonna say, I can literally transport us. I can do Dimension Door. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'll look at him and I'll be like...
And then it might attack us is the thing. That's what Sarathiel's trying to avoid.
Yeah, but we can teleport away. That's what I'm saying.
Sarathiel hums to himself, considering his options. He heads into the laboratory. He looks at... It was a Fey Dragon, you said, right?
It's usually not caged. It is more monitored than it had been previously. Since it showed that it was a bit of a trickster. But it seems to be just sleeping happily. It's not in a cage. It's just in a corner of the lab.
I feel like in general knowledge would be like, if it comes from the Feywild, it's probably a little bit of just a trickster, just like a little troublemaker. They would not necessarily know if you could communicate with it, like if you need to speak another language or something.
So this one is a yellow fairy dragon. It speaks Draconic or Sylvan, and it has a little bit of telepathy, but it's only with other fairy dragons.
Oh, I don't speak. Do you speak either one of those?
No, I do not. Sarathiel only speaks Common.
See, well, I speak Elven too, but...
Yeah, but Elven is not Sylvan.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem arises.
I mean, I do have a stupid idea. I have a Summon Fae spell.
Oh, no.
It's an ally to me, and it obeys my commands. So... It's like a giant, horrible game of telephone, but it sounds fun.
I mean, you could maybe just try bribing it. It has been an app tap. Maybe it's learned a couple of words of other things. Who knows?
I'm gonna look around Sarathiel. I don't really know what he's seeing in this room, and so I'm like, oh my goodness, aren't you the prettiest thing in the entire world? And I'm just gonna go and start fawning over it. I've never seen a cuter dragon in the entire... Just oh my, your colors are so good. It's just the best looking dragon I've ever seen. I try to scratch it behind the ears.
Okay, so just to paint the picture, you wake up a sleeping fairy dragon just to compliment it, and you try to scratch it behind the ears.
Yes.
You have cats, right?
Yeah.
You personally?
Yes, I do, yes. They love being woken up. I don't know what you're talking about.
Roll for how many fingers are gone.
They love it so much. Actually, to be fair, Loki does love it. It's just Darius doesn't.
It kind of squeaks at you and looks startled. It looks like its first instinct is to bite you, but it does appreciate the compliment. So I guess roll to avoid that first,
Okay. What am I rolling?
I guess this would be a dexterity, just to pull your hand back as it tries to just snap at you.
Can I do an acrobatics check?
If you're doing a backflip away from it.
I am doing a backflip. Thank you for asking. Okay, fine. I'll just do a regular dex check.
A dex save is what we're going for here. So you managed to get your hand out before it bites you, which is probably a good thing. Doesn't look like it would hurt too much, but they're sharp-ish teeth.
I look wounded.
Well, you woke it up.
I just wanted to say hi.
It kind of huffs at you and peers over at Sarathiel, just are you gonna try to touch me too?
Sarathiel does not try to touch him. Sarathiel was really hoping to keep it sleeping so he could just maybe walk in and let the other monsters out.
Too late.
He takes a gamble, and he makes eye contact with the fairy dragon, and he goes over and he puts a hand on the cage of the other animal, as if to say, I'm about to cause some mischief.
It kind of chirps. It doesn't quite get the hand on the cage, because scientists put hands on cages all the time.
He turns the handle of the cage. He opens the cage. And then he opens the other one, too, next to it. And then he opens the third one. He's like, Gwen, keep sweet-talking it.
Those are the prettiest scales I've ever seen. Where did you get them? Wait, that doesn't make sense. I pull out, I always have a trinket on me. I have a small box with a bunch of buttons that are very shiny, and I pull it out.
Oh. It hears the rattle, and it's excited.
Sarathiel takes the opportunity to just let all of them out. Just, there you go, all free.
This is like a cat with like a thing, so I shake it kind of expectantly, you hear that?
Oh, it's wiggling its hindquarters, and it's getting ready to spring.
I pull one of them out. It's really shiny, and I hold it up.
Oh, it pounces you.
Oh god. Ah!
I assume the other monsters, what were they? Methods?
So there were a couple of mud methods, and I think, let's see, what else do we have in here? There's no more crawling claws, because those were annoying. Might be a couple awakened shrubs that were in there still.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, he's just gonna let all of them out. Just all of them. Go forth. Be free, little Pop-Tarts. Go for it. Oh, good. They're neutral evil. Excellent.
Oh, jeez.
They're neutral evil, size small. So they've got a lot of ambition and not a lot of ability, which is perfect.
So yeah, there's a couple mud mephits and a couple of smoke mephits, and probably a couple other creatures that you don't necessarily recognize because you're not really focused on that.
Yeah, it's just the pandemonium. After he lets out the last mephit, he leans over to Gwen from behind and is like, "The dragon never saw us." Trying to get you to convince, like, you never saw us, right? And he hands him a button like a bribe. You never saw us.
We were never here. I, like, wink at the dragon. I know this isn't going to do anything. This thing doesn't speak common.
It chirps and kind of tilts its head at you, like, what the fuck? And it's already, like, nibbling at your finger to try to get the button away from you.
No. And I look at it really seriously. I hold the button up in front of my eyes. We were never here.
It steals the button and goes over to where Sarathiel is over at the cages and starts opening other cages.
Oh, I like this thing.
Can I grab a button and just throw it into the hallway?
No, let it open the other cages.
Okay.
It's complicit now.
Okay.
Partner in crime.
It's like, oh, you got shinies.
It is going to try to steal more of your shinies, though.
God damn it.
1 button is payment per monster.
I only have so many buttons. I don't know how many I have. I didn't write it down. But it's not a big box. It's a small box.
So Sarathiel is going to wait until there's like a significant number of monsters out and loose before he raises an alarm. Like, he's going to step back and, like, watch them all spill into the hallway and, like, give it a good 4 or 5 minutes.
Wait, we shouldn't raise the alarm. What we should do is we should lure one of the people out here and they can raise the alarm.
Or lure the dragon somewhere and have it cause some mayhem somewhere else, too.
Just, when I say raise the alarm, I mean, in general, somehow make someone aware of it.
I think the best way to do it, actually, is I'm gonna, like, once it's been enough time, I think we should go and throw a button into a room with a bunch of researchers.
I like the way you think.
Well, the button only works on the pseudo-dragon.
Yeah,
so.
But that's gonna raise a big alarm.
It's kind of a mischievous pet of the department, but that doesn't mean that it can't be distracting.
I mean, if you trust it to, sure.
I don't think we're trusting it to do anything complicated, Tessa. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna, like, pull out my last button, because I'm out of buttons at this point. And I'm gonna, like, hold it in front of its face.
I think what we've been doing is you've been walking down the hall kind of shaking the button box so that the dragon follows you.
Yes, that's true.
Meanwhile, the mephits are, like, slinking down the hallway in every direction.
Yeah.
The shrubs are just gone. They've been gone for ages.
Oh, no.
Where are they? Who knows? It's not important. Someone screams down the hallway.
I'm gonna peek in and find, like, a, like, busy room, right? Like, when there's a bunch of, like, people in there.
Yeah, there's like a little break room that folks are like getting coffee and stuff in.
And I'm going to, like, crouch right outside of it, and I'm gonna look at the dragon, and I'm gonna hold up the box of buttons, like, the entire freaking thing, and I'm gonna, like, shake it, and then I'm gonna throw it into the break room, and I'm gonna run.
Sarathiel follows, trying not to laugh.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
What a distraction.
So the box just like kind of explodes because it wasn't well secured when you threw it in. And so there's buttons going everywhere. There's scientists dropping coffee mugs. It's just chaos. I guess the two of you make me an acrobatics check to see if you get down the hall and out of sight before they come out into the hallway to see where these buttons came from.
I'm gonna change that. I'm actually gonna teleport myself.
Just yourself.
Oh, I should probably take Sarathiel. I'm sorry. I'm gonna teleport. I'm sorry. Dimension door. I'm gonna cast Dimension door. I'm gonna teleport myself and Sarathiel to another location. So as soon as I open, it's like a very complicated maneuver. I throw the buttons, and then I grab Sarathiel's arm, and as I'm doing it, I'm like muttering like my incantation, and then like the door opens, and we just like burst through it.
Sarathiel tumbles through the dimension door and then looks back, and I feel like as he looks back into I assume like they're at the end of the hallway out of the artificing wing at this point, and he turns back and looks down the hallway, and he's about to say something like, "Wow, good job with the spell," or something along that line, and then like an entire bookshelf falls over, and someone screams,
"Fuck!
We should get out of here."
Run! Get out! Like sprinting down the hallway.
We pan back over to Chaz and Viernan. You guys meet up with Tanya because you know that she, one, has a key to some of the locked areas in the records room. So this is probably a good idea to have somebody who knows how to get into other things in the records room beyond just the room itself.
Indeed.
And she's a little confused because it's late. And I mean, you told her some pretty weird stuff the other day.
Just trust me. That's all I ask.
I'm working on it, but this is a really big ask, and you realize that just brunch at Zeros is not going to do it, right?
Tanya, you know I would do literally anything for you, right?
He just kind of arches a brow and gets you guys into the main building easily enough. She doesn't have access to everything. She just has access to some things. And at least she knows which doors are trapped in some cases. So thankfully it's late. Not a lot of people tend to work in the records room this late at night. There usually is a guard around, but you guys have somebody with you. You're a handler and an artificer. You're probably fine for right now. So you could probably bluff your way past any guards that are around. There's only like one or two. A bored person sitting at the front desk at 8 o'clock at night.
Chaz, your deception is not very good. Can I bring in Baku for this? No, I'm just kidding. Baku doesn't like lying, and also wrong campaign.
Okay, so I guess we're not going to try to roleplay any bluffing.
I mean, it depends. Like, where are we? Like,
I told you, you're in the main room of the records room. There's a guard there at the front desk. To get into any of the other rooms, you might have to go check in or do something else. They typically do.
Of course not. I'm debating. Based on my deception is not great. Or at least distraction. Like, hey, nice night,
That's what we have. That's what we let all the methods out for.
Tanya? I mean, she's very responsible.
She has no stat block. She's just an NPC. She is not fighting. She's not doing any of that.
Damn it.
She is just here for your legitimacy, kinda.
All right, that's fine.
You get into the records room and you're like about to sign into the book when suddenly there is all sorts of chaos coming from the artificing wing. The guard's walkie-talkie goes off and they're just like, okay, Tanya, you know what to do. Just get them signed in, okay? I'll be right back. And runs out into the hall.
Chaz is like, well, raises an eyebrow at everyone like, well, I guess it worked.
Tanya just kind of scrolls a name messily, just so that there's a name, and hopefully he won't remember this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And gets you into the next room and asks, okay, so what exactly are you guys even looking for in here?
Chaz sort of like exchanges a look with a capital L with V.
It was your idea to bring her, but okay.
He sort of gathers his thoughts for a moment and then gives her a serious look, which is fun. Like, she knows his serious look, but could be very alarming for V.
Yeah, she hates this look.
We are looking for records.
Obviously, we're in the records room.
Right, obviously. I love your sarcasm, but not right now, Tanya. The specific records we're looking for are surrounding the bombing. We have reason to believe that Aptap...
Viernan interjects quickly. We don't need to go into the details of it. We're trying to find some more information about the bombing. We're trying to find a little bit more information about anything we have on the city. Viernan just interrupted you because he's conscious of, we don't know how long that distraction is going to get us, and if we find extensive things, copying them is going to be a bitch.
Chaz just raises an eyebrow. He's like, have some faith in them.
I do.
Srathila's very good at starting fires.
We also have a very big team of security that might be dealing with it, so...
Good. Then let's get to it.
Right.
If you're in such a hurry.
He just kind of rolls his eyes. And then I'm trying to see if we have any, like, supplementary records to things that might have been stolen. And Tanya knows that some of the records were stolen from the administrant. She keeps her ears open and has heard one or two people, and you might have mentioned it, honestly, Chaz. Mm-hmm. So she is going to suggest, records about Silvery Moon, that should be easy enough to find, probably. And anything about the bombing might be trickier. That might even be in the administrant's office. I don't know that we'll get that, but we do keep copies of stuff.
Perfect. That's all we need.
Guess let's go this way. And she leads you down a hall. There's several doors that she walks past, and she's just advises you before you go too much further to not touch the doors until she's had a chance to look at them.
Oh, Chaz can also have a gander at them too. He's like, ooh, I love traps.
I don't have time to get distracted by specific traps, though. Like, you can look at them and disarm them, but maybe just avoid the ones that might set off an alarm.
All right, let's go. He's following behind you and also looking around and making sure that, like, we're not being followed and, there's not an off-color tile on the floor or something.
They're not going to be that obvious about their traps.
Exactly. He'd be like, it'd be hilarious if they were, but...
No, so basically you've got two major complications in here, which is knowing where to look, first of all, which you're going to get advantage on that by having Tanya here.
And then time.
Yeah, time. So I guess you actually have three major complications, because the third major complication is if you run into any other archivists.
Right. There are definitely going to be other people. I would be surprised if there weren't.
You're here kind of outside of normal hours, and that was deliberate, but there are usually at least one or two people around. So, I guess let's make a collective stealth check.
Okay.
To see how sneaky we're all being.
I'm glad I'm not there for that. Sarathiel with his clank, 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 clank.
There is a reason you're not there for that. Holy shit, Viernan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, surprisingly, Tanya is also rather sneaky.
Yay, my big, strong girl.
Well, that's because she doesn't wear armor, so.
Oh my god, plus 14. Good god, my boy.
Plus 14?
Chaz turns invisible.
So, unless I rolled that wrong.
Might have rolled that wrong, but you still rolled a 17 as your base value. So y'all managed to be sneaky enough that even if there is somebody in one or two of the records rooms nearby, they don't poke their heads out. They're totally focused on what they're doing.
Love that. Chaz is like, amen to nerds.
Make a investigation check to see if you can find the first of your three goals.
Oh, Chaz, my boy. Got the good rolls out, and now he's just like, ooh.
That's enough.
Oh.
It's a plus 7 modifier for a total of 11.
It's significantly better than Viernan's natural 1.
I just saw the one. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Everything's fine.
Luckily, with his stealth roll from earlier, he doesn't, make a loud noise or anything. It's just that he totally fails to see what's in front of his nose, which I feel is valid.
Yeah, we don't know how much time we have in here, and he's just like, I need to find a thing. He's very focused.
Yep, and I'm just going to see if Tanya does any better.
All I want is for Tanya to just, okay, exactly, to outroll all of us. Yes, she did.
1 point. So I think what I'm going to say is you find the files on Silvery Moon easily enough, but it's also, there's a lot of files on Silvery Moon.
That's what I figured.
Because, it's a city. It's got a lot of history.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. And it's an HQ. So there's a lot of, AppTap-specific Silvery Moon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take you a while to find what you're looking for in here.
Chaz is going to scan for keywords, as fast as he can, flipping through, okay, we don't have time.
Speed reading! I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to say that Tanya managed to at least find an index or the card catalog.
Okay, perfect.
So she's at least using her knowledge as a admin to do some proper searching. And it takes a while, but she does find eventually the proper card so that you can maybe find things related to Silvery Moon's destruction, because that seems to be specifically what you're looking for.
Mm.
I feel like there's probably going to be other things indexed off of that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
The secondary question is whether you want to leave someone to copy stuff or how you plan to get any of this information out of the records room. Because, yes, there's a distraction, but also...
If people are going to notice if they're missing.
Right, exactly. Chaz will definitely offer, if you need someone to cop, I'm game.
Well, I did actually manage to snag these, and V rummages in his pocket and pulls out a copyist's quill.
Oh, V, naughty boy.
Yeah, my fiancé is already mad at me. What's one copyist quill from her stash?
Oh my god, you stole it from your Viernan. We're going to have words after this, but thanks for bringing it this time, though. He's plucking it as he's talking, oh, we will have words after this, but yes, Thank you.
Borrowed it? And pain of death, you're getting that back to me.
Of course, I always return things I borrow.
So do I.
Good. Then I'm sure she won't be mad at all.
Yeah, I'm sure nothing will come of this. Tanya is busy over at the catalog and didn't hear this. Just see the copy of Squill and is like, oh, interesting. We do also have a, Ches, you didn't know about the, Xeroxit machine?
The what?
The Xeroxit machine.
I gave her this idea. It's like a shit post, basically.
God.
It's like App stole a Xerox machine, but it's shitty and from the 80s.
Oh,
You have to roll a
God, I
1d4 and
love
on a
that.
1 it fails.
Chaz hears machine, and, like, if he had ears, they would be, like, sticking straight up, and he's like, oh?
Okay, but, like, elves do have ears, and we've established in previous campaigns that they are expressive, so his ears do go perk.
Go like, oh? I have not heard of this, no.
Okay, I will work on getting this copied if you guys want to keep looking for the other stuff. Because it looks like this is going to take me a while.
Are you sure you'll be alright by yourself?
She just kind of gives you a look like, I am a 6-something half-orc. I think I can take care of myself.
He gives her, like, big puppy dog eyes. He's like, okay.
I appreciate it, babe, but I should be good.
Okay.
The duplicate records are going to be down the hall to the left, make another right, and another 2 lefts, and it's the 4th door on the right.
Cool, I've already forgotten what she just said.
Yeah, Chaz is like, got it. Let's go, V.
And then maybe, if there's anything about the bombing, there might be a copy. I might know where we can get a copy. So we'll get that when we meet up again.
Ooh, all right. See you in a bit.
Okay. Sarathiel and Gwynedd, you have released the menagerie and caused a little bit of chaos. What are you doing now?
I mean, Sarathiel doesn't feel like he's going to be useful on a sneaky mission. Like, his instinct is that he wants to help Viernan, but, like, also, he's a big, strong sword boy. He's not good at sneaky.
So my question is, how much chaos is there? Like, I think I'm just concerned that we need to create enough chaos that's actually going to cause a distraction.
That you might actually need to create some more chaos?
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm kind of into it. And I was very anti-chaos, but now I was like, this is kind of fun.
You've had your first taste of blood.
You're remembering, oh, yeah, and I made a web to try to help catch the creatures at the picnic.
I know, I was actually thinking about that.
Sarathiel's like, okay, well, hold off on that. Let's see how it's going.
We need this to be affecting the other building, too. So maybe we need to, like, go into the building where the records are and just be like, oh my god, did you hear about the Mephits in the, like, Artificer's Hall?
I've already established we have fantasy walkie-talkies, so, like, folks are already starting to go over.
We've seen guards streaming in from all over the place, including, apparently, the records room, so yeah.
Well, are you sure we don't want to cause more chaos? Because, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm out of buttons, but I surely have something. I start patting my pockets.
Gwynedd Battlestar, I am so surprised at you. Are you advocating for further chaos?
I guess I am. He, like, looks up at you kind of guilty, but, like with, like, an impish smile on his face. That was actually kind of fun.
Well, I applaud this development in your character, but I do caution you to limit it to, what is safe and sane.
So you're saying I probably shouldn't cast a spell that casts grease all over the floor right in the middle of the hall? I'm, like, giving him big, like, puppy dog eyes.
What about instead of in the middle of this hallway, we just put it right outside the artificing door?
Yes! Excellent! I'm gonna, like, sprint over there. I'm just waiting for permission at this point.
Sarathiel's not sure if he should feel good about this or not.
I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna cast grease right outside of the hall, like the door. So just like a giant, what is it? It's a 10-foot square. So anybody who steps in it must succeed on a dex save or fall prone.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I should make you do something to do that unseen, since you didn't specify that you're doing that, like, through a window or something.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not being sneaky about it, so.
Okay, so you're gonna have to make me a stealth roll to, like, hide.
Oh no, okay.
I mean, luckily the people that see you are a little distracted by a pseudo-dragon flying at their head, leading a charge of Mephits. And they slip on the grease and forget all about you, because now they're covered in grease and a bunch of tiny little monsters.
This is my favorite thing I've ever done. Honestly, this is the only reason to really be a conjuration wizard. This is just to, like, cause panic and chaos.
Exactly.
Sarathiel goes in after. He's like, okay, all right, you did a great job. There's so much chaos. And he, like, steers you away.
But now I got this spell that does polymorph. I could turn into a dragon, and I could also go in the hall.
Oh, no, listen. Did you see how many people were screaming in that hallway? We're all right. We don't need any more chaos.
Oh, okay.
You did a great job, though. Good job.
I perked right up.
Who's my special troublemaker boy?
Wait. I was initially feeling good about that, but now I feel weird. That feels patronizing. Stop being patronizing, Sarathiel.
Well, I mean, you did just cause excess chaos on top of chaos that was already destroying most of the artificing labs. So let's just, let's go to the moon bridge. All right, we said we'd meet our friends at the moon bridge.
Okay. But are you sure we shouldn't drop by the records room and just make sure they don't need any help? Just, like, peek in the window and maybe, I don't know, maybe they need a spell.
I'm not very good at sneaking, Gwynedd. I don't know if you've noticed.
That's true. You are very noisy.
Yeah, I wear chainmail armor. It's a thing.
It's incredibly clanky. Okay, I guess that's fair. I'm gonna, like, look over my shoulder kind of at the records room. Like, I'm a little worried that we're just leaving them there, but it is true that bringing Sarathiel over would be a bad idea.
In this particular room, I'm not sure Gwen is safe doing a sneaky mission.
My next one was gonna be just, like, Cloud of Daggers! That seems like a fun thing to cast in the middle of a room. Very distracting.
Yeah, but also NPCs have very low health.
Okay, I guess we'll go to the moon bridge now.
What a great idea.
Alright, so we're going to cut back over to Chaz, who just rolled a 20 for investigation.
Excellent.
So you do manage to remember all of those convoluted turns that I, the DM, have already forgotten.
Yep, I just wrote down 4th door on the right. That's all I wrote down.
It's fine. Chaz has perfect recall. Don't worry about it.
And Viernan's just like, okay, I'm going to trust you on this.
It's like, don't worry, she gives excellent directions. Like, I've never gotten lost.
You find the room easily enough. And this one is definitely locked, and just by dint of what it is, you would assume it is trapped, triggered to alarm something. So, how do you approach that kind of door?
Well, you see, I break into it. Well, first, actually, before I break into it, I need to figure out what kind of trap is there.
Yeah.
He sees that the door is rigged, and he's like, oh, Tanya, you shouldn't have. Like, he thinks this is a present for him.
What the good? This is unfair.
Right?
Ooh, a 22!
I think I did give Viernan a wand of Dispel Magic, which is lucky, because this thing was rigged up the wazoo and had very tricky alarm spells placed on it.
Of course it did.
Like the silent alarm kind. So, like, you don't know who it goes to, you don't know what it's gonna do, but it would be deep shit for you guys.
Yep.
You confirm that, oh yeah, there's several little nasty things on there. He can disable the alarm, and then you can deal with the lock.
Okay. All right, so Thieves' Tools. So that's a +5. Natural 1!
Oh.
You unfortunately trigger a secondary trap, which was not dispelled right away.
Fun, what happens?
You are blinded for a minute.
Oh?
It had Glyph of Warding as a spell glyph on there for the spell blindness.
Okay, excellent. Are both of us blinded, or just me?
You were the one that's right in front of it.
Chaz is just like, Vernon, I don't mean to alarm you, but I can't see anything. Like, I'm literally blinded.
Okay, hang on. He just kind of like rolls his eyes and casts Lesser Restoration, just touches your eyes, and poof, you can see again. Let's just try that one again a little bit more carefully.
A little bit more carefully. Thank you, by the way. I will definitely not have anything like that happen again. Hopefully. Oh, Berner. Whew.
Okay. A 19 is much better.
What would you have done if she'd gotten a second natural 1?
Oh God, that would have been bad.
At that point, you just don't get the file.
Yeah, pretty much. Luckily, I do have contingency plans for if you guys do drastically fuck stuff up, but...
He's like, I got it this time.
You did. That was good. Let's Let's see if we can find this thing quickly.
Agreed.
Don't you have something that you can, like, add something? Flash of genius or whatever?
Oh my fucking god, you're right. I forgot about that. Ability check or saving throw, you can use reaction to add your intelligence modifier to that roll. Okay, cool.
So it would make sense to help out Viernan on his roll since he rolled higher.
Exactly. He's like, wait, V, I just remembered, and beautiful things happen. I don't know. He's like, you should look over there.
Mechanically, what happens is you remember how Tanya found things in the card catalog, and you manage to remember that filing system and help him find the files that he's looking for.
Ah, there we go.
So V was looking for some extra details about the mark and or Sarathiel's record, just on the off chance that they have a backup of it. And I guess the other files that were stolen, because I think the entire teams were. So he's just looking for copies of those things and manages to find them all. You guys are met with several hefty files to copy.
Excellent. There is an additional file that I am kind of interested in seeing if I can find.
Okay.
You know, I'm just curious if any files have the name Algodon in it, for example.
Roll me a roll to find out.
A roll. Another investigation.
Mm-hmm.
19.
You do find a file, but it is small and mostly redacted.
Oh.
Interesting.
That is very intriguing, and he will file that away for later to think about later.
So either they had a lot of interesting stuff about him, or it's just about this alternate one, or you don't know.
Hmm.
We do have the Enchanted Quill, which will make it easier to copy the extensive notes, but it is still going to take you guys a while to copy this.
In case we don't have time to copy everything, we're gonna have to take it. You know that, right?
I know. I do know.
All right.
Prefer to leave as few marks as possible. We're already risking a lot just with this distraction. Doing secret rolls. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I figured. It's fine.
He manages to get most of what he needs out of the file. Basically, the smaller files he's letting you just read through because of your eidetic memory, hoping that you'll be able to remember as much as possible. But for the complicated things that he finds, like he finds a copy of the artificing notes that were stolen.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, a significant portion of them is redacted. It'll be tricky to put together because, like, it seems like the main copy was kept in Oriana's office, but this is at least better than nothing for him to start learning more details about the mark. So he's going to use the copyist quill on that, which does about 1 page a minute for text and a little bit longer for diagrams. And the rolls that I gave him were pretty good, so he's going to be able to get about 90% of that file.
Ooh, good boy.
Before you guys decide, okay, we've really stayed a little too long.
The methods are only good for so long, y'all. While you were doing the thing, I did look up methods. When you kill a method, it explodes in a shower of mud.
Oh no. That's messy.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, big mess. Big mess.
It's someone's fetish, but mostly it's an inconvenience, so I'm good with it.
Hey everyone, Val here. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Crit Fail Club Restoration. If you can't wait to hear what happens next, check out our Discord server for episodes in pre-release, or to listen in live as we record. You can join us by going to bit.ly/cfcdiscord. For more information on the show, character biographies, and links to social media, head to our website, critfail.club or critfailclub.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. We don't advertise at all, so if you like what you hear, tell a friend who might also enjoy the show, post on social media about it, or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Full episodes are available on our YouTube channel, bit.ly/cfcchannel, or on other major podcast platforms. Thanks again for tuning in.